Welcome to Task 1 for Unit 1 Public Service Skills. So looking at the title for Task 1 then, you need to be able to know the purpose and importance of public service skills. The form of evidence you need to produce for this task is a leaflet, a report and a poster. So 3 different bits of evidence you need to produce for Task 1A, Task 1B and Task 1C. So then, just to summarise for Task 1, this is split down into 3 separate tasks of which you need to produce a leaflet, report and poster. Okay, then looking at Task 1A, the leaflet. You need to carry out some research and create a leaflet which describes, doesn't list, doesn't bullet points, you need to describe what is meant by public service skills. Now I've included a list here of the different public service skills that you must include and must describe. Okay, so for each one you need to make sure that you do fully describe and don't just put down bullet points in your leaflet. So then for Task 1B, the report, you need to write a report which gives a detailed explanation of the importance of public service skills and teamwork in 2 services that you have identified. You should compare which skills are important to each other service and state why. Okay, so before I move on to this next bit then, the 2 services that you need to identify for this must be contrasting services. One from blue light services such as the police, the fire or the ambulance, and one from the armed services which could be the army, the navy, the RAF, the Royal Marines. Okay, but you must pick 2 services and there must be contrasting ones. So for example, I could do the fire service from the blue light or the army from the armed services. Okay, now for that I must write a detailed explanation of the importance of public service skills within the fire service, okay, the importance of teamwork within the fire service, and also do the same for the army as to why public service skills and teamwork are important in the army. Once you've done that bit, you then need to compare which skills are important to each service and state why. Okay, so just looking above here, you've got your public service skills. You could say that discipline is more important in the army compared to what it is in the fire service. However, problem solving is more important in the fire service compared to what it is in the army, and you must justify your reasons why. So it's important that you do understand that you need to compare which of these skills are important to each service and state why. Within your report, you must also look to include these bullet points as well. So what you're basically doing in this report is looking to evaluate the importance of teamwork and public service skills, okay, within one of the uniform public services that you've identified here. Okay, so at the first part of your report, you pick 2 services, one from blue light services and one from the armed services. You then need to explain in detail the importance of public service skills and teamwork in each of them 2, and compare the skills and explain why each service is important and state why. You then need to explain these 4 bullet points below, and then the final part of this report is where you evaluate, picking one of the services that you've done here, just one, the importance of teamwork and public service skills within uniform public services, and give examples. I'll go into this a lot more detail when I issue this task. So then look at Task 1C, the poster. Okay, you need to select 2 contrasting public services. Again, the 2 services that you pick, the examples must be from one from blue light, so pick either police, fire or ambulance, and the other must be from armed services. So pick Army, Navy, RAF, and so on. From this, you produce a poster that outlines the purpose. Okay, so what is the purpose of that service? The importance of teamwork within that service as well, and you must include examples. Okay, so let's say I'm going to do the police service for one of these services. I must explain the purpose of that service, why teamwork is important within the services, and use examples from that service alone. And for the other service, it must be from the armed services, so I could pick the Navy and do the exact same. What you must also include in your poster is an explanation of the importance of teamwork within each service. So why is camaraderie important in the Navy, and also why is it important in the police? Why is teamwork important within organised structures within the police and within the Navy? So each bullet point here you must explain for the two contrasting services that you've identified. Looking further on, you must also identify the qualities for effective teamwork from these bullet points within each of the contrasting services. So your poster is going to focus on two services of your choice, where you are going to identify the purpose and importance of teamwork using examples and including these bullet points here. Again, I'll go into more detail throughout the sessions, but it's important that again that you keep your notes from any of the sessions so you can use these for your poster work. So then, whenever you're looking at the tasks, okay, you should always look at the criteria that's covered for the task, because this is telling you what you are going to be graded on. So for task 1, or task A, you're going to be graded on A1, 2, 3 and 4. And it tells you what you must be producing as evidence for each criteria. So for the first one, you need to describe public service skills. With this, you must be able to describe a range of important skills in public services. So this directly relates to task 1A, the leaflet. So you must explain all of these public service skills, okay, in sufficient detail, ensuring that you do describe a range of important skills from public services. And this is how you should read for the rest of the task, the different criteria which is covered from each one, to ensure that you do effectively cover what you need to cover for this assignment task.